Mystified, he glanced around. "We're in a bathroom." "Ding! You're correct," she said with a decided slur. Jin did that to her. Okay, Jin did that to everyone. She didn't want to look back at him, didn't want to see the despair and guilt in his eyes. He regretted this whole thing, wished he hadn't gotten wasted and agreed to helping her in the bathroom, which she'd made code word for screwing me against the lavatory. It was almost as if... Her gaze flew to his left hand. Oh, crap! She grabbed the tanned hand with the noticeable white stripe on the ring finger. She hadn't noticed it in the dark bar, but could see very well in the blinding reality of the ladies' bathroom. "You're married?" He glanced at the hand she held in hers and jerked it away, using it to tug up worn jeans that still gaped. The sound of his zipper was deafening. Shaking his head, he closed his eyes and exhaled. "Not anymore." He opened those pretty eyes and their gazes met. A sheen of tears remained, but there was more. Sadness over the words he'd just uttered. The regret made Shelby feel even worse. Head swimming, gut rolling, she stepped away and spied her panties hanging on the paper towel dispenser over his shoulder. "I'm so sorry," he said again. Shelby ignored her panties and instead turned away from him. The water came out of the faucet ice cold. Why had she turned on the water? No clue. She needed something to do, something to prevent her from telling... Oh, cripes, what was his name again? Josh? Joe? Did it even matter? Shelby stuck her shaking hands under the water and splashed her face, not even caring it would make her mascara run. She didn't want to look at him, didn't want to see the utter abhorrence for her and for what they'd drunkenly done. After the past few days, she felt close to losing it, close to doing something like... screwing a stranger? Too late, sister. The sound of music roared into the bathroom before muted silence fell again. Well, hell. He'd left. Just flippin' walked out after an apology she didn't even want. What an ass. Shelby looked at herself in the speckled mirror and tried hard not to let her tears join the water coursing down her face. Not only had she impulsively gotten drunk and laid, but the guy she'd chosen for such an honor hadn't even bothered to stick around and buy her a drink for her trouble. Not that she needed another drink. The sound of crickets came from somewhere in the bathroom. Her phone. Crap. Where had she left her purse? Shelby swiped her face with a paper towel, grabbed the panties she'd bought last week thinking her now ex-boyfriend Darby might like them, and searched for her purse. She found it on the window ledge next to the only stall, the torn condom package sitting right beside it. At least she hadn't been too drunk to remember to protect herself. She'd bought a box in Baton Rouge, hoping she and Darby could finally take their relationship to the next level. But then she'd found out Darby was married. Okay, so the man hadn't realized he was married to his high school flame when she'd started dating him. The whole thing was a big shocker for everyone involved. But by the time Shelby made it down to Louisiana to try to talk him into coming back to Seattle and the interview with her father's firm, her perfect prospect had fallen in love with his, wife. Yeah. Another married man in her life. It was becoming a thing for her. Shit, Shelby sighed, picking up the bright red package, her heart aching at the thought of being back at square one. She felt like a blooming fool, even if none of it was her fault. Guess falling in love was like contracting measles. Bam! Just happened despite one's best efforts. Darby was off the menu. No more visions of her in a wedding dress smiling at the dark-headed southern boy with the alligator grin. Stick a fork in her dream of respectability. Done. The phone went silent just as the self-loathing took over. This was what her life had come to. Driving the memory of heartbreak away with random stranger sex in a backwater crap hole. She'd never sunk so low. Perfect, Shelby, she whispered, leaning onto the